Hey guys, it's Rob here and welcome to my movie review for Justice League vs. the Fatal 5. If you enjoyed this movie review, subscribe to the channel for more movie reviews. So Justice League vs. the Fatal 5 was a movie that I was very excited for because it's connected to the DC animated universe. A universe that I have a lot of fond memories watching when I was younger, and of course it spawned a lot of great DC animated shows. You have the Batman animated series, you have the Superman animated series, the Justice League animated series, and a lot of other ones that connected to them like Batman Beyond and Static Shock.
I put a shock to your system. Static shock!
And watching Justice League vs. the Fatal 5, it seems like nothing has changed. This fits right into the DC animated universe, right down to the art style. Kevin Conroy returns for the voice of Batman. It's just as great and fantastic and demanding and stern as it was in the Batman animated series and Justice League Unlimited.
I can't move my arm!
Pressure points. You might not be human, but you fall like one.
You are scary.
We also see the return of Susan Eisenberg and George Newbern as Wonder Woman and Superman, and they do just as fantastic as they did in the animated series that they starred in the DC animated universe. And the same goes for the new blood in the DC animated universe. Thomas Keller as Starboy does a fantastic job, and so does Diane Guerrero, I hope I said that right, as Green Lantern. They do fantastic job as voicing these characters as Jessica Cruz and Starboy, and they fit right into the DC animated universe like they've been there the whole time. And that's what I really love about Justice League vs. the Fatal 5. It feels like this series just never left, which it did, which was very unfortunate, and I hope they revive the series after seeing how much the fans love this movie. The story of Justice League vs. the Fatal 5 is about Starboy and Jessica Cruz. Now, Starboy is from the future and he's part of the Legion of Superheroes, a group of superheroes who look up to the Justice League and the heroes of the past. Now, Starboy tries to stop the Fatal 5 from going from the past, and he ends up getting dragged along with them. Now, the reason why the Fatal 5 wants to go to the past is to get one of their members that was locked in the past, because that's the only way they were able to keep her held. Now, how Jessica Cruz plays into all this, the movie doesn't really explain it too well, other than she's called Limelight, and she's a very powerful Green Lantern that was known throughout the future as a huge part of the Justice League. Now, we do get to see this power at the end of the movie, and that was a fantastic scene. I loved how they used her powers. It wasn't really clever like you saw in other Green Lantern movies, but she was very, very powerful, and it was great to see the bad guys lose. Now, speaking of the bad guys, we have Tharok, Emerald Empress, Validus, Mono, and the Persuader, and these were decent characters. They're not the best. They are pretty generic, and they don't really have that much of an interesting backstory. Not that the movie actually explains their backstory too much, but they got the job done as the movie's villains. I wouldn't call them grade A bad guys like, say, anything from the Superman animated series like Lex Luthor or the Batman animated series like the Joker. I wouldn't say it's on that level, but they got their job done, and they were pretty decent. Now, we do get to see Miss Martian and Mr. Terrific, and those were really good characters. I like the dynamic that they chose between Miss Martian and Batman. Batman was sort of a mentor towards Miss Martian, and the voice actors definitely brought out that in their voice acting. I loved how they had their witty banter and the snarky attitude that Miss Martian would often get with Batman. It was a great back and forth that I enjoyed on screen. Now, this movie tries to juggle a lot of heroes. We have Superman, we have Batman, we have Wonder Woman, Miss Martian, Mr. Terrific, Brainiac 5, all the Legion of Heroes, a lot of heroes in this movie, and they all get their chance to shine, and that was great. Now, one thing I was really surprised at was the deaths in this film and the blood that they use in this film. The DC animated universe always has been censored. Like when Lex Luthor got killed by Superman in the DC animated universe, that happened off screen. Or any other deaths or any other blood that would be there was not there. Or when they used to hit people with punches, you would see a white flash so they can censor that part. It was very censored, and this one is just out in the open. People die, they get stabbed. I mean, Killua gets a hole through his chest. It's pretty surprising surprising that the DC animated universe would go this way, and honestly it worked for the film, but it was a little surprising because I'm just not used to that in the DC animated universe. Overall, Justice League vs. Fatal 5 was a fantastic movie. I love the story, I love the characters, I love visiting the DC animated universe again, and I'm giving Justice League vs. the Fatal 5 an 8.5 out of 10, and you should definitely watch it on the DC streaming service because they have it up there on there right now. So if you have that subscription, you can watch that right now. If you want more reviews like the Aladdin review, which will drop maybe later tonight or tomorrow, make sure you subscribe to the channel and leave a like if you enjoy this review. It helps the video reach more people. And thanks for watching, and have a good one.